Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Today, I'm covering episode 18 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Another great episode. We are moving into the next arc. I would guess this is probably going to take us all the way to the end of the season, and it was interesting. You find out some information about why they went to Arborist, and you got to see some more flashbacks and saw some people that we've seen previously. I thought it was another really good episode. Definitely laughed a bunch. And it was just, like I said, another great episode, and I really enjoyed it. But let's get into what happened in this episode. In the beginning, they're basically Stark, Fern, and Freyrin go get to Arborist, is essentially I think it's Uberist. I don't know. Anyway, so they get there. They find out that the reason why they went there is because they are needing a first class mage certification. Essentially, they need to be first class mages, and the reason for that is northern the northern section. You have to be a first class mage. I'm assuming it's for to get through the gates. That's the only thing I can think of because why else would you need this certification? We find out that Frieren has this super old like pendant, and the only person that recognized it was a very old mage. I really enjoyed the flashback because again, it just ties in more of the past, kind of shows some more semblance on why it means some so much to her, excuse me. And it was just really good. I am enjoying the flashbacks because you get to really feel for the hero party without having to be a story about the hero. Fern, you find out, was the youngest third class mage to ace the exam. Pretty interesting, and you just see some other very interesting mages like Yubel. She is kind of seems like an assassin esque type uh, mage. And you also learn that there's only about 2,000 mages left in the world, which I honestly thought there were a bunch, but apparently not. The other kind of cool thing that you saw was you got to see Kraft. If you remember him, he was the other elf that we've learned about. And yeah, the one last thing that's super important that was just kind of a throwaway sentence was you needed a priest and you need a first class mage to go north, essentially. So I'm curious if who's going to be that person. Are we going to get Kraft to join him for a little while? I don't know. That'd be very interesting. I feel like our other priest is going to be the one that joins us somehow, some way. They're going to run into each other. Very curious about that. But this arc is it. Yeah, I'll be very curious to find out. They didn't put a precedent. They didn't put a limit on how many mages there can be that pass. So I'm curious how you pass. In the first iteration, you have to essentially capture a bird. They get split up in groups of three. So Freyrin is with Luane, I believe is how you say your name, and then Kane, two basically childhood friends that fight all the time. But when push comes to shove, they work well together. You do find that Fern is with Ubel, who is basically the bad mage, you could call her. Very curious how that goes. But this entire episode revolved around Freyrin, Kane, and Luane, so excuse me. And I really enjoyed it. They have to capture this bird that can travel at the speed of sound, which is insane. And I think in the next episode we're gonna get that, and then it's gonna jump to Fern and her group on how they get it. Really looking forward to it. It's been an amazing season so far, and I cannot wait for next week's episode. That's all I got for this week's episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Please make sure to check out the anime show on Facebook and Instagram. Check out all the awesome anime content they have on there. Also, please subscribe to us, drop a like, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think of episode 18 of Frieren and the season as a whole. Have a good one.